What is up, everybody? My name is Cole. I'm a part-time real estate investor, a full-time legacy airline pilot, and a part-time military instructor pilot. Today's video is a tour that I went on this morning at about 7 in the morning through a duplex that was being sold as a foreclosure. Somebody bought it for like $170-some thousand, which is a terrible price for this property. The bank's selling it for $140 now, and it turns out that's even too much for it. So I walk through it. I just give you my thoughts as I go, and what I'm looking at when I'm going through duplexes. I'm on my path to a 100-unit portfolio. Should be at around 71 units by the end of the month. This is being filmed after I actually toured the property. After I toured the property, then I continued on to go to a closing for a single family that I bought. And that'll be the next series of videos, which will be just going through this entire process from buying the single family to finally getting it rented out and figuring out what it was worth after fixing it up and how much I paid for it and what the closing costs were and all that stuff. So that somebody who hasn't bought anything ever before can look at it and say, oh, okay, it's not just this is the purchase price. There's actually other fees associated with it. The title company has fees. There's a funding fee if you're using hard money or whatever. I want to give people clarity on that stuff because I had no idea when I was getting started. And that's kind of the goal here. Same thing with this tour, just giving you an idea of what I'm looking at, what I'm thinking about when I'm walking through it. Hey, it's missing appliances. It needs to get cleaned out. Has old windows. It has a crack in the foundation. These are the things that I'm going to talk about in the video. So stick with me. Take a look at it and let me know what you think. Any comments are appreciated. It helps me get better, and I'm making this stuff up as I go. Bear with me, though. It is just being filmed off my phone, so I don't have a camera crew or some fancy camera. It's literally just an iPhone. So anyways, appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I just opened the door to this place. So this is my first look through the property. It's a duplex, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, upper lower duplex. And this is my first look through it. So let's walk through it. I'll tell you what I see. Right away, old carpet. Nasty. Gonna have to get torn out. Upper level, all old windows and stuff. It definitely needs a deep clean. That's not surprising. The old door off the hinges, classic. So I'm trying to start getting more of these duplexes. Fire detectors, low battery. This thing's pretty nasty. As you can see, flooring is pretty gross. It's in decent shape. It's just pretty nasty. This toilet has seen better days. Once again, same situation, dirty, gross. Doors off the hinges, needs to get put back on. No appliances, so you need a stove, refrigerator, stuff like that. Kitchen doesn't even have any cabinets, so you gotta deal with that too. They want 140 for this place. Definitely too much. Even in here you can see, I was trying to see looks like there's some rat poop too, or mouse poop, so they probably had some situations with that. So definitely not the cleanest duplex I've ever seen. And for 140 grand, that's a little steep. Let's see here. So we got the back, no handles, so you can't really get out there. It's a box, that's for sure. I don't think there's any light, so you guys won't be able to see up there. That's the attic up there. This is the lower unit. So I'm looking at this, I'm expecting that, oh yeah, okay, so this unit's the same, everything's been torn out. This is a foreclosure, so the bank maybe was the one to do that. I would be a little surprised by that, but. So I'm looking at this, these would generally rent probably for $9.99 a unit. So you're just about $2,000 a month gross rent. And these units are probably at least $5,000 worth of work. So you start backward planning from that, and suddenly 140,000 is not doable, because if you did buy this for 140 grand, you would need to use hard money basically, because if you took this to a bank with nobody in it and the condition it's in, most banks for a long-term loan are not going to be super keen on lending on this. So then your option is to use hard money. If you use hard money, you're going to pay a 4% funding fee. So on 100 grand, you're gonna be paying $4,000 just to get the loan. Then you're gonna be paying 14% interest only payments for 6 months while you get it stabilized. Plus you have to fix it up from day one. This is already it's not ready to go. So the chirping is hilarious. So when I think about that and look at that, I don't think we're gonna really get down here. This is missing a door too. So there's just a lot of little stuff. And then I can see daylight through the foundation. I'm gonna rotate the phone, but I can literally see daylight through here. So not ideal, obviously. We haven't even gotten to the basement yet. Hopefully this is in decent shape. But knowing how basements normally go, old water heater. That bad boy has seen better days. I'd be shocked if it actually did anything. Got internet though, so that's cool. Or cable or whatever. Here's another water heater. This one's in a little bit better shape. Got a washer. Or what's that, dryer? One of the old furnaces here. Basement's actually not too terrible. That thing is old though. I'm not even gonna speculate as to how old it is, and I really don't care that much because this place is beyond what I think it's worth right now. Like I said, they want 140. You'd have to get this for like 80 grand. If you could get it for 80 grand, it'd be worth it. Older electrical panels. Take a look at those bad boys. Yeah, so it's a box. It's not even a great box. It's just a box. But this is pretty standard for this area, especially for foreclosures. Somebody attempted to get the old filter out, didn't work out. Another old furnace. So, and those furnaces are fine. I don't need it to be brand new. Furnaces are one of those things that you can just let run until they don't no mo, and then say, all right, time to move on. But anyway, so when I look at this place, I'm looking at 80 grand because my funding fee to get the loan. Once I've got the loan, now I've got to fix this whole thing up. So probably at least $5,000-$6,000 per unit to get it back to where it needs to be. So you got $12,000 in fixing it up. You got a water heater downstairs. You got daylight showing through. So you start adding in the little other things other than just the units themselves, and you're probably in the $15,000 range, I would say, to get it where you want it to be. Maybe closer to 20. At 100 grand, that puts you at 120, which is pretty much market. So that's a little too much for me. But here's another look inside a duplex. So the foreclosures can be good, but lately they just ask a shit ton of money on these foreclosures, and you're not really getting that great of a deal. It seems like if you can cut a little bit off. Oh, wow. Here we go. If you can cut a little bit off the price, you might convince yourself you're getting a deal, but more than likely, you aren't. This is all old siding. You can see it's all coming off. Old windows. Old everything, basically. But take a look at the gutters. Packed full of stuff. Not shocking. So, anyways. This is what this bad boy looks like. Seen better days for sure. For 80 grand, I think it's a deal. You could be in it for 100, and then you're getting about $2,000 a month in rent. But if you're in this for 100, then you're in it for 120, and you're getting $2,000 a month in rent. And there's a lot of other costs. You're gonna, while this thing's getting renovated, you've got your interest-only payments you're paying for, and you start rolling in all that. Now you're in for 130, maybe more, and the deal is just suddenly not that great. That's how I analyze this stuff. I'm just doing spitballing numbers. Granted, I know the numbers because I've been doing enough deals that I know what it costs to fix stuff, but a lot of people out here that be like, oh yeah, this beats the 1% rule, I'm just gonna buy it. And you're gonna be sorely mistaken with that analysis if you got yourself into this place for too much. And once you're in, good luck getting out. If you wanna keep your portfolio, at least. Fast forward, now we're in the backyard. We got a garage, which I could care less about. I know some people love garages, but to me, it's just a liability. Someone's going to run into it. Someone's going to... Honestly, some of the advice I heard once was just, if it's not part of this structure, then tear it down. And so don't worry about garages. They're cool to have. You can maybe get a little extra rent for them, but for the most part, they're just going to be liabilities. But This is the exterior. You can see we got some missing gutter action there. So the water is just pouring straight down here, which is where you see it's all wet. Backyard is pretty lackluster. It's not, it is what it is. It's nothing that special, honestly. Some random stuff laying around, boarded up. You start looking at all this stuff and it's just, man, for me to want to do this, you'd have to give me a serious deal. For 80 grand, sure. But for the money that, this is a foreclosure, like I said, the person that bought this bought it for $177,000, which is just insane. I've paid a lot of money for certain properties in certain places, but this has got to take the cake, honestly. This seriously is not great and not in the best area either. It's just like whatever. It's just a whatever place. But certainly look around, it's, man, there's a lot of things that need to get done. Foundation's not bad, but that's not saying much in a place that needs so much work. So thanks for coming along. Hope I didn't waste too much of your time, but this is just a quick analysis of the deal. I'd say I want it for $80,000, rents for $2,000 a month, and it's going to take me about probably $20,000 to fix it up and clean it up. So hope you guys have a good one. I'll talk to you soon.